Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Global Speedrun Association and another Super Mario Odyssey Darkside Tournament group stage match between Stravos and MiiWii. Today, I'm joined by Oliver on co-commentary for the first time, I think, on this channel. What's up, Ollie? I'm not sure if it's the first one, but what's up?
Yeah, this is the first one on GSA. Nothing much. Should be a pretty good match, I suppose.
I agree. This guy on the left here, Stravos96, obviously one of our old bacon favorites here at GSA, has always been performing pretty well. I mean, this guy has been getting amazing results in any percent in World Peace. And as soon as we basically announced the Dark Side tournament, that guy went on the Dark Side grind and ended up getting the Dark Side world record. So that's the kind of player he is.
Yeah.
Like, he can just like transform categories and really learn them quickly and become really good really fast.
Yeah, he's really well rounded. He was a contender in the race for sub hour in 80% as well, and he obviously has it now. But he's a very good runner, and MiiWii as well is a good runner. He has been grinding Dark Side as far as I can tell from like VCs and whatnot, and I don't know his PB off the top of my head. I can check that though. And
yeah, maybe not to be underestimated. Obviously, also got a pretty decent any percent time for himself, and actually started playing this game very early on. Now, I can't really guarantee that the PB that is currently on the leaderboard is the most up to date. We obviously have been struggling with an issue that there's like this game is like one of the most actively ran games where they basically get like sometimes like 20 run submissions a day. So not the leaderboard, especially when it's not about like the world records, might not be super up to date every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now we can just assume and just use what MiiWii has on the boards, and then obviously Stravos does have the record with the 145.
Yeah, but that obviously doesn't mean that MiiWii can't win. Yeah, I think the runners are going to be starting in a couple seconds.
Yeah, and MiiWii actually providing the knowledge here in chat while he's basically preparing for this tournament match. The reason this date is so far in the future is basically as a cheat verification method. So we basically determine the date just before the run starts. The date shows up on every single moon. That's kind of like a nice verification for us to tell, okay, are they actually doing this live or are they splicing, you know? And at the same time, obviously, the reason they pick this specific date is to perform something called DSTA, or basically summertime abuse at the end of the day. What you do is you just pick a date that in the future where summertime, basically the change to summertime will take place. And we do that to be able to plant a seed at the start of Sand Kingdom, and then after a little bit of like backtracking to other subrooms, that the clock basically jumps to the next hour because of the summertime change, and that allows the seed to instantly grow, making that seed, which is usually like a 20-minute waiting moon, a really fast moon in the road.
Yeah, DSTA is a pretty new thing. It was discovered shortly after 1.3 came out, and we used it in 80% to grow the seed, and now we're going to use it in Dark Side.
Exactly. It even being in any percent shows us how fast of a moon this becomes, because Darkseid obviously has this different dynamic in terms of any percent that we need to get more moons in some kingdoms than we actually need to leave the kingdom. Sand will be one of them. And that's a good point to just briefly like talk about Darkseid, that the incentive of Darkseid. The Darkseid category gets around, it takes around 2 hours. For these runners, we are looking at 1 hour and 50 minutes. Those are obviously some more high-level runners. And the goal is to get 250 moons as fast as possible to access the dark side and then beat the boss rush. Timing ends when you collect the multi-moon there.
Yeah, and we're going to be revisiting kingdoms, a couple, like 3 kingdoms, no, maybe
5, I think.
5? Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're going to be revisiting a couple kingdoms to get extra moons in the post-game, and that's where the run really picks up, because there's just so many moons in such a short amount of time.
MiiWii gonna be missing left side here on the right screen. And then, actually cool backup here with the up throw, jumping into the up throw to get back onto the railing. But you already saw the first change happening there. Both of them picked up that checkpoint on the right side. This is something you wouldn't see in any percent. The reason for that being that we will revisit Cap as one of the kingdoms we will come back to.
Yep, and then you have to warp to that checkpoint in Cap 2. And missing it, obviously, will lose a lot of time, because you have to get up to that area all by itself.
For
or
sure.
all by yourself.
Strauss here with a pretty solid start to cap. This might have still been a 220, very respectable. Looks like MiiWii is about 8 seconds behind. Actually, even a little bit more, actually. Wait, this logo is never ending. What? Okay, I guess he's actually 12 seconds behind, mainly due to that left side miss and also taking a hit on topper. And that's actually an interesting thing to happen, because if MiiWii realizes that his damage, that his health is at 2 right now, he should try to roll through this checkpoint ahead of him, and he does get that. You can miss it. The reason you want to do this is it refills your health and hence allows you to skip the damage refill animation after the first story moon here.
Yeah, and damage refill animation loses about 2 seconds, so it's just kind of meaningless time loss when you can just pick up that checkpoint.
For literally free, basically. For literally free. Now Stravos taking his lead here, looking at around these 12 seconds, and is going to sit through these cutscenes. Once again, this is performed on 1.3, pretty much like every single, at least mainboard speedrun of this game, just because the 1.3 change made the game load so much quicker and ended up in basically in a faster speedrun, and actually an easier faster speedrun, because 1.0 for the longest time was faster, but to get the time save you had to do tricks like first moon skip, swing skip, turnip flip. These tricks are gone on this version, but you can still match and even beat the speed of the old version just by loads, so that time save is essentially free.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when it first came out, we were testing it, and it's like digital is much faster in loads than physical. That's one thing to point out, and it's just basically the loads by themselves. Made 1.3 faster.
Yeah, and there's so many small hidden loads. Like there's, for example, even a load after this multi-moon here as the kingdom changes the state from Madame Brutal state to post-peace state, because this is the requirement for world peace here, basically getting rid of Madame Brutal. But yeah, so we might even see a load after this one. Now keep in mind, we do see Stravos here with a strong lead. He's already collecting the multi-moon, but this is Dark Side, and the way this category works is it ends in this around 6-minute boss rush. If you die at any point during this boss rush, and we've even seen world record holders like Chaos Springer being a little bit not so careful, die there, you can lose 4 minutes by a death if you die later on, because you will be sent back to the very start of the Dark Side boss rush. So no lead save in this category, just like the 80% Pillars Room, but in worse.
If you, for instance, had a death in Rango.
Yeah, exactly.
It would save, or sorry, not save. It would lose a lot of time, and that was something that we need to do. Also, I think Stravos got chest clip. Yep, nice.
Looking good, and this is one of our first instances where we could leave with 5 moons right here. Any percent would have already hit the globe, but MiiWii is going to collect this extra moon here. At the end of the day, we want 250, and getting this moon here in the first visit of Cascade is just a little bit more optimal. We do revisit this kingdom, but this is just the best place to get it optimally. Both of them with a chest clip, very nice.
Yeah, they both have chest clip. That's a pretty decent time save. It's not too hard.
Exactly. Now it's Sand Kingdom time, and MiiWii definitely did have a little bit of flaws at the very early game. The main important thing here is that these runners are able to plant these seeds before the 7-minute mark, because that's when their GSTA is basically going to activate. They need to hit that window where they can plant it into the pot, and then once they get back, the summer chime change has happened and the seed has grown. I think both of them should be fine to get it here. MiiWii maybe a little bit close. If he takes like a bonk or like really sloppy move and misses the seed of something, he might be in trouble, but I think he should be fine.
Yeah, I think Stravos is for sure on pace to
easily
to get the interesting route coming on the umbrella. And I think MiiWii is as well.
I don't know how long Stravos waited at the start, because he's actually really fast. He might run into the issue where, depending on how safe he was with waiting at the start, where the seed might still be in the growing process, but I think this is looking pretty good. Still has the pillar room. MiiWii plants the seed. I think both of them should be fine.
Yes, yeah. Because they both planted the seed before the 7-minute mark.
Yeah, and I know Stravos waited a lot longer at the start, so I think even for him, he should have hit that window very nicely. And looks like he did. He just missed that seed first, but does get it here. Makes it extremely fast.
Maybe getting a silent spin pound in the in the rumble room. It's pretty weird looking. Basically, if you spin pound too fast, or try to jump too fast, it does what a spin pound would normally do, but it just doesn't have the pound.
Yeah, it looks like a double jump, but it does the spin pound basically, like requirements. Like, has the properties of a spin pound. Ground pound moons get uncovered, but it doesn't look that way. Now, Stravos is already at the Doom Moon here. MiiWii got that DST A trick as well, both of them, that very fast Seed Moon, so their routes should be equal. But yeah, both of them will be leaving Sand with 18 moons instead of the usually required 16, because there's just 2 extra moons we can pick up, which are easily fast enough for us to collect in Sand to work towards the 250 moon goal.
Yeah, and Stravos is coming up on Dram Strat here, where basically you throw Cappy up. Ooh.
Already home in.
We'll
that
see if
bullet will
MiiWii
not be
gets
usable.
Basically, you throw Cappy up while you're long jumping down to get that moon in the alcove, and if you shake at the right time, you have Cappy in the right place. You can shake into a bullet bill to capture and capture warp up. I think.
We see if MiiWii gets it here. This looked like a nice cap position, but actually not going to be getting it. That might have been because of his platform position. Couldn't immediately see that. Now Stravos had to wait for the next bullet to be shot out of the cannon because he already captured the first one, which activates the internal timer, so that wouldn't have made it over to the pillar. Both of them still looking equally, both with the dram miss, like 1 moon apart, still looking at these 16 seconds I think it takes to travel from this pillar to the luggage moon. And they didn't actually activate that chest yet because they will be coming back for it later, basically on their way back. Then they can get it without being reliant on any bullet bill cycles.
Yeah, that's called late crate, as we know, because you would normally, a while ago, you would get the crate moon right as you finish dram, but we discovered this route. See if Stravos gets the pound on the...
Optimally, both of the crates is actually only going to hit the first one. This is still fine. The good thing now is that he's not reliant on this bullet bill. He can just roll over and still be totally fine. Back in 1.0, we actually did all of this from out of bounds, which was even a little bit faster. But even though you take that pipe here, you can still make this moon better this way than just getting it in when you are waiting for those bullet bills. So this is still the best way of getting that crate moon.
Yeah, the bullet bills are, yeah, MiiWii looking like he got the, you can, yeah, he's gonna come over to the bullet bill breaking.
Yeah, no worries. That was actually really nice. He got a roll cancel off that ledge and then kind of vectored into his cap. Really nice movement there to get over to the other side. Both of them performing that route relatively well. Maybe even a little bit better because Stravos did have those issues with breaking the crates. Let's see if he does get that Jax skip, though this is a vital part of Sand completion. Stravos made it look easier and MiiWii also gets it. Let's see his movement over. Also going to be going for the quote-unquote risky roll, which is definitely the fastest movement.
Yeah, you can get pretty close to the poison there and fall in and take a death, which loses a lot of time if you roll too close.
Definitely. Now Stravos struggling a little bit with these nodes, but still easily going to be catching them in terms of the timer. Just not the most optimal completion for them. Assuming that he's also going to be opting to warp to the Odyssey, which he will, which is the most consistent way to get back fast to the globe. And that's what he does.
When 1.0 was the fastest version, rolling was the fastest way to get to the Odyssey after getting the Notes Moon, but now that there's the load with the warping.
Yeah, not only loads, but also warps, which basically is a load of the kingdom again, sped up, so people just warp now. Even though on the most technical level, when you get like the perfect roll every single time, you might save less than a second and even less than half a second with rolls. It's just too unreliable. That warp is a free input basically, and as long as you get that, you'll be close to optimal.
Also, Stravos exiting Sand at 11:24, and then MiiWii exiting like in 11:45. So
45. So 21 seconds for Stravos. And this is going to be a very interesting part because in the Lake Kingdom, especially in Darkside, but even in any Pistol Runners, get the choice to do what we call the Lake Clip. actually kind of a uninspiring name because it's just like a clip in Lake, but it's at least the most interesting clip we do in the route. And this Lake clip, especially in this category, is extremely powerful because it allows us to get 2 moons very fast that the old route didn't get that way. Like the painting moon was already acquired, but by doing a pretty tricky jump in the second visit of Lake, and that moon in the chest down in the spiky waterway wasn't even gotten at all. So getting both of these moons fast and gaining access to Rango quickly makes Lake Clip very, very efficient.
Yeah, basically
struggling to get the cheap sheet.
You want to get Mario into a position on the corner. You can see Stravos doing it on the left, and then if you get the right position, you can get Cappy to clip through the wall, and you can use the Cappy clipping through the wall to. Ooh.
MiiWii struggling there. I thought it would have been a good idea to get the cheap sheet, but maybe this cap return jump works as well, and it will. So nice decision making by him there after all, after getting that one unintentional bong, but Stravos is already through the wall, got the first moon, and now the second moon from the Lake clip route. So let's see how fast MiiWii is able to get this clip. This is essential for a good completion of Lake. He does get Cappy to clip for the first try, and is going to be able to make the out of bounds movement work as well. Gets the checkpoint perfect from MiiWii.
There's a thing that can happen with Lake Clip where Cappy can clip, but you don't clip. It's called the fake clip. It's you just kind of roll past. It's really annoying, and there are visual clues to see if it's gonna happen, but they're pretty slight. So
MiiWii avoiding that one. Stravos also doing a little bit of a fancy strat, which kind of matters in the dark side run, because you consistently want to keep in mind that you have a coin count to hit. MiiWii trying and actually successfully going for the spin count Rango strat, super fancy. It looks like you dive in his face, but the dive still connects. Oh, that was early. MiiWii going for the spin throw there. Yeah, still in one more phase, my boy. And gets it this time. That spin throw basically collecting 20 coins for free, and we do need to hit that 1,000 coin requirement at the end of the run to get a 7 second to that achievement moon. And those coins, if gotten correctly, if obtained correctly, almost don't lose time. So it's actually a good moon to get.
Yeah, it is. Basically, Rango is a very quick boss, and you also fight him in Dark Side in the boss rush, and he's the last one before Mecha Brutal. So
yep. The main reason, obviously, we beat Rango here is to get back to Lake, because those moon rocks only spawn when a kingdom is in a world peace condition. Since we get back to Lake later on, we want that moon rock to be active to spawn in these extra fast moons.
Yeah. You in the alternate route where you don't do Lake Clip, you can get the Notes Moon in Lake 1, but with this route you're going to be getting the Notes Moon in Lake 2. Also, yeah. It's looking at a 37-second. We're looking at a 37-second difference between Stravos and MiiWii right now, because Stravos had an 14:28 Lake exit, MiiWii had a 15:05 Lake exit.
And even though runners want to optimally perform the nut clip and normal any percent route here in Wooded, there is a little bit of a backup route that you can do if that misses, and that would be very interesting to see. We haven't actually seen it in any race, at least that I commentated yet, but Stravos is about to come up at that section. Not going to be getting the tree moon, even in his any percent completion, he still gets the piranha plant. If you just want to be as optimal as possible with an any percent, you would get the tree moon instead, but it's pretty hard to save time with and arguably more tricky, but he already is through the wall. Looks like very clean out of bounds movement, very fast moon wrap, and all he needs to do now is cap that to the left and right and make it back out, which he does.
Basically, for that nut clip, there's basically a rhythm to try to aim for. It's known as the wee hoo. You kind of backflip twice into the nut and throw Cappy, and if you do it at the right rhythm, you can clip through.
The infamous wee hoo definitely looks like MiiWii is about to attempt, and he's actually gonna miss it here.
Ooh,
that is not in a position where it's gonna work. You need to get this what we call up warp on that moon. So I know he has been aware about this backup route, but I'm not sure if it's something he's gonna be trying. Like, looks like he's not gonna attempt the rock clip, which is basically, it's not impossible on this version, but it would be like very mad to go for.
It's much harder than in 1.3 and then on 1.0. 1.0 definitely had easier RCC clips.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, we could be seeing the route where you get 4 extra moons in Lake from MiiWii, also synced moon cutscenes. Basically, they're 1 moon apart, but you have to kill the Piranha so it seems larger than the gap seems larger than it actually is. Oh!
Interesting mid-run adaptation, and I'm not sure if MiiWii might be forgetting something here. I'm pretty sure he did not grab that tree moon early on, so I'm not sure if his math will actually check out. But he's going to be attempting the old any percent route here, where he does the what we call the warp route, gets Pipeware early on. That is an interesting choice.
Yeah, for sure. I've never seen this in a dark side run warp route, but maybe we'll see what he does. It's pretty interesting to see.
Yeah. The reason is with this, it looks like he's definitely going to be fighting Spewart, and if you do dark side and already fight Spewart, getting those other moons is definitely in your favor because they turn out fast enough to kind of make work. But looks like he's maybe doesn't want to do too much rerouting along the run, and he's just going to get those moons right now and just finish up with it.
Yeah. So it's just looking at a normal non-nut clip any percent wooded from MiiWii, while Stravos is doing the normal nut clip any percent wooded.
Yeah, and Stravos obviously still going to be finishing this earlier. The nut clip route alone saves around 30 seconds over the old route. So, and they will basically have the same amount of moons, and that's why if you fail nut clip, you can at least get those fast extra moons. MiiWii maybe not confident about those. I would say probably, like in perspective, doing that backup route loses like 10 seconds to nut clip, and this route probably loses like 30. But you need to be obviously aware of what moons you have to get in the backup route to make it worth.
Yeah, I have done the backup route in my runs personally for Dark Side, and it's been pretty nice because you have a lot of extra moons.
Yeah, you get extra moons, and they're like not hard to get, arguably. Like you basically get the tank moon casually, then you can use the rocket flower to get to the fence moon. Yeah, if you want, you could do like a rocket flower refresh, and then after the very quick ground pound moon, you just do the end of the faster wooded route. It's like not too complicated, I think.
Yeah, you just do pipes at the end, and then you work back to the Odyssey.
But yeah, MiiWii not opting for that, so he's going to be fighting Spewart right now, which is probably going to take him around 60 seconds until he finishes the kingdom, which should be around the lead that we are looking at now from Stravos. So full minute. So it kind of math kind of checks out. We were saying 37 seconds at the start. At the end here, probably around 1 minute and 5 seconds or something that he is leading by.
I once I see MiiWii's exit, I can figure it out what the exact difference is. But
okay,
for right now, it's probably around there. And MiiWii's just beat Spewart while Stravos is heading into the Cloud Kingdom for his Bowser fight. There's one thing interesting, there's a strat that's pretty interesting, the Cloud Kingdom that you can opt for. Basically, it's very hard and very tight, but you can get a coin insert in the Cloud Kingdom and it loses no time. But it's very hard. I don't know if Stravos will go for it, we'll see in a second. Oh.
Looks like he rolled to the left, but that didn't look like he was going to attempt it. That is something that is done by the top any percent runners currently already, because since we are pretty close on coins, like pretty short on coins without doing the swings room anymore, we need 1 coin hint art in any percent, and this is the one that you can get with 0 time loss, but it requires you to one-shot the hint art. Like, you need to know where it is, spin pound it, and then from that spin pound roll over, triple jump into Bowser's head that he's about to throw. So it's like really tricky, very hard, and saves like I guess 0.5 or a second because you don't have to get the Metro hint art instead. But yeah.
Let's see, we're looking at 1 minute 24 seconds difference between Stravos and MiiWii. Yeah,
and we should be on those same amount of moons because both of them did the lake clip route, and even though they did basically different moons in wooded, it is still, they both got 16. Now, sometimes getting different moons might matter for an achievement, but the different moons they end up getting in wooded shouldn't change anything, so nothing to consider about that. Now Stravos is starting out Lost, which is a little bit different than any percent.
Yeah, you in Lost you have to do I think 1 death warp after a 2D moon. Oh, MiiWii missing the first fast hat strat, but getting it on the second try. I don't think you'll be able to do the Bowser manip anymore.
Jesus, Stravos almost failing those wall jumps there. It took a little bit of too long to actually get up at the start. That is really unfortunate if you fall there, but makes it work. Last jump as the block was about to turn invisible. There is this a really weird route at the start. It looks so weird. We like jump up all this way just to get a checkpoint. But this checkpoint is actually super useful, not only in our first lost, but also second lost visit. So that's our first objective, gives us a nice vantage point over the entire kingdom. And after this moon that Stravos is currently getting, he's actually going to be intentionally dying to warp back to that, which is faster than a normal warp.
Yeah, and you do lose some coins to it, but all you need to do is get 1,000 coins in total. It doesn't matter if you lose 10 coins. It still goes to your total coin count for the Toadette achievement, which is pretty nice.
I was trying something fancy for the Cave Gardening Moon, where I basically already spin through before entering. Didn't get all of these flowers immediately, but that's still fine. He is probably gonna be picking up a coin hint art here instead of the one that he could have gotten in Cloud. There's one on the left here that looks good. Gets it immediately.
It's pretty good, and you have to get this trapedal to break the cage, and then you have to do normal.
Basically normal movement up to the cage. Stravos, wall jumping on the tree.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Okay, it's fine. It's just like pretty risky. This tree. Oh no, MiiWii might not make this. This is gonna be even closer than it was for Stravos. Not sure if he has anything fancy in mind. Oh no, is he gonna go for the gamer? Is he gonna make that?
He
does. Wall jump on the left. What a gamer!
What a gamer! That's epic. Yeah, basically that tree has a weird hitbox, so wall jumping on it's a little hard sometimes. I think that, in my opinion, wall jumping on the wall behind it is faster. Or not faster, easier.
Yeah, definitely safer for sure.
Yeah, and it's much more consistent. Also, MiiWii not opting for the fast
block jumps.
Yeah, fast block jumps in the 2D section. It's pretty tricky to pull off consistently and fast, but we saw Stravos do it earlier.
He took like a step back on the pipe, which makes it a little bit more consistent. But yeah, you can, since you don't have to wait for the platform to be below you because you're gonna die anyways, you can be a little faster there, but MiiWii playing it safe, avoiding all casualties here in Lost so far. But this kingdom is still long, it's dangerous.
Except for the intentional death warp, of course.
Exactly.
And Stravos is in Night Metro now. It's normal 80% Night Metro. You get 2 moons, and then you fight the Mecha Wiggler. Mecha Wiggler is like one of the only areas in the run where RNG is dependent, because if you get a bad RNG pattern for the Mecha Wiggler, you can get a 3rd cycle, which loses quite a lot of time.
For sure. MiiWii also going for a similar strategy like Stravos did here on this section. There's actually this really cool strat where you throw Cappy towards that. Ooh, this is actually quite far away from the tree, so MiiWii's gonna have to land on the root there of the tree. Hopefully make it, but this time not gonna bonk. Very nice. There's this cool strat that you can do where you basically throw Cappy into the Trapedal's hands, and then as the Trapedal is trying to aim towards the spots, towards the cage, you can basically already spin pound down the stone cage, position correctly, and then the cage breaks while you get that other moon. Probably saves like 2 seconds or something. But it's pretty tricky.
I was trying it out. It's pretty tricky. Also, MiiWii actually lost. Looks like it's gonna be. I actually can't tell because of the cutscene skip, but 26:07. So that the difference between them is 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
I was building up a currently strong lead. Is now in the Wiggler fight, which is actually also one of his best sections compared to any other top runner. He always was known to have extremely fast and clean aim, getting those ridiculous Wigglers. But yeah, so all that Call of Duty,
all that Call of Duty,
coming in hot, the legitimate aimbot. But now, looking at that pattern, hopefully able to get a 2 cycle, and then moving on to a day match. So it's going to be missing 2 shots there briefly, and actually having some troubles. Actually, that 1 snipe on the top was really clean.
That was clean. That was pretty good.
So
he does get a 2 cycle, which is very nice, because you don't lose a lot of time, which is always nice. And yeah.
At the screen, MiiWii is performing that Goomba jump with success, and Stravos is going to be headed into Day Metro. In Day Metro, and I'm actually not sure what he's going to be opting for. I know literally like only basically Tyron and Chaos were going for the bullet building route in any percent. Now it's a little bit more optimal even in Dark Side, so I'm not sure if Stravos is going to be up for it. If I remember correctly, he did go for it in his last race. We'll see if he's going to do it again.
And especially he might know that he has a pretty sizable lead, so he might go for that because of the lead. But anyway, and Stravos also here on the left doing a strat called Metro Brand, where you put Cappy by the pylon, you go and grab a moon, and then you shake Cappy to capture the pylon.
Gonna be missing the scooter clip here, but very clean backup. Only takes 1/2 of an additional lap around that cage and gets that moon on the second try. Now actually going to the shop, which is something you won't see in any percent. If you get more than 3 shops, getting this Metro shop moon is faster than the slots moon, which is the one we get in any percent. Because as soon as you have been to 3 shops, you get basically faster text on these other shops. The first 3 shops have text. After you've done 3, the text is gone. And if you take that into consideration, that shop moves faster than the slots moon in Metro.
Yeah, that shop is pretty fast, and there are loads connected to the shop as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's actually 3 loads, and those 3 loads all being improved by the 1.3 patch made that even a feasible route option.
MiiWii also getting a cleaner second cycle by the Wiggler, or for the Wiggler. Stravos, obviously, if you remember, messing up a little bit.
Correct. Now, keep in mind as well that Stravos is, with going to the shop, basically already confirmed that he's going to be going for that bullet building route. Very nice spin point there on the second coin hint out of the run. They're going to be collecting 4, another one in Metro and another one in Ruined. And this subroom can be very tricky, is very technical. The strat that is done here in the subroom was actually found by Stravos himself when we were messing around with this in any percent. Was pretty much just like accurate Stravos and me. Accurate really tried to like make this room worth of movement, and then Stravos found this strat that he just did very nicely, where you up throw to that bullet bill and just fly all across, and that's the fastest strat for the moon.
Insta cap there. Also, we're looking at a difference of 2 minutes and 8 seconds out of Night Metro for Stravos and MiiWii.
Opts to go for a cap throw dive on the top there for Stravos, and actually slightly misses that angle. Ooh, that actually looked kind of close, but confident enough. MiiWii also struggling with scoot clip on the right, is not going to get a backup as quick as Stravos did. Quite struggling here. I think it would be best to line it up again, and that seems like it's what he's trying, but trust me, if you miss scoot clip, these things are supernatural. It's really hard if you don't get it first try to line it up correctly. Stravos actually going to be getting a dive to the other side.
Yeah. That's interesting. Messing up the acrid climb is what it's known as. Getting that return jump, or the
rainbow spin.
Yep. Forgot what it was called.
Yeah, the rainbow spin there is pretty nice because it basically allows us to grab the moon fast and be in a nice position to spin point on the tippy top there too. Now that's the third hint art that Stravos just wait. Why did MiiWii fling from that pole? Wait, what is he doing? Oh, he's going back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he realized. Wait, did he get chopped? I wasn't paying attention. I guess he did get chopped.
Yeah, I guess he did.
Okay, so no signal. That was a little bit too much to handle, I guess.
It's gonna come back. He's gonna be in like cap 2, I bet.
he's wrong warping. No, but he's probably gonna be opt for that bullet building route now. Looking, probably plugging his console back, getting bench friends, and hopefully after that making his way into the bullet building subroom, because he needs to get that.
Yeah, because the route that he's seemingly chosen, makes sure that you basically have to do the bullet building route.
I mean, you don't technically have to, but that's the only reason it's
Yeah.
even worth to get the shop moon, because
Exactly.
the bullet building route is bullet building subroom is really fast, but you need that one extra moon to have 20, and the fastest one is a shop. And yeah, it looks like MiiWii is gonna opt to do that as well.
Now I don't know if Stravos is comparing against his PB, but when he split Metro, his timer was still green. So
Interesting, but hard to imagine, I want to say. I mean, his game has been looking clean, but he had these like dram misses and stuff. But who knows? Who knows?
yeah,
The world record is definitely still improvable. We can see a 144 in this tournament in any race, especially from Stravos, maybe even from other contenders like Curbs or maybe even Chaos. Who knows? Who knows? It's going to be interesting.
also MiiWii missing the insta-cap left. Oh!
That was a very, very interesting decision. I think he might have opted to dive towards the pole instead, but he doesn't know apparently that those poles are slightly, like the one pole is a little further to the right. So he takes that dive into the wall and falling at the very end of the bullet building subroom, which is obviously gets the ghost moon again. That's probably just muscle memory showing off. Hopefully getting
I think it was also because he doesn't know how to get an earlier cycle or something.
Oh, that was very clean though.
Yeah.
He's actually able to keep that bullet bill alive and then uncap just to get towards that moon. Stravos' bullet bill earlier did explode.
Also, if you saw on the left side of the stream, Stravos had to get had to look at a hint art for a moon that we get later, and that's the only difference between the dark side snow and the any percent snow.
Exactly. Now Stravos is gonna opt for the moon clip, something that he has done ever since he competed in the World Peace Tournament and gets it very nicely, saving only around a second here, but looks nice and is, if he can do it, why not? Yep.
Yeah.
Why not? Very nice speed there, keeping the speed from the block with the triple jump. And very fast
that's sometimes pretty tricky. Maybe also on the right, getting this third hint art. I'm getting 200 coins from each hint art. I'll count towards the total of 1,000 for the total achievement.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I'm already seeing the suspicion here in the chat room. The lead for Stravos is very strong and he's been building it up. But as we mentioned earlier, this speedrun category ends in the dark side boss rush, where a death can lose you up to 5 minutes, depending on how late you die. So unless someone is winning by 10 minutes or something, I would really never call a race over. And Stravos' lead is maybe getting close to 3, or maybe is already 3. But that's like still not safe.
Once I see MiiWii's exit, we can tell. Also, if the lead is only if the lead is only like 3 or 4 minutes, then that can all be changed with one death in dark side. So
yep,
it's for sure not over.
Yeah, it can definitely be unlikely to die for a top runner in a boss rush like Stravos, but at the end of the day, there's not only dark side, but there's Lost 2, there's Cap 2, there's very scary post-game kingdoms, and not only that, but we also are coming up to Luncheon and Bowser's and just very scary kingdoms.
The difference right now is 3 minutes and 21 seconds. So it's still a pretty big lead for Stravos, but you know.
Yep. For sure. Now let's see if MiiWii is able to match Stravos' very, very nice snow, actually. Haven't really seen any mistakes at all from Stravos in this kingdom.
Yeah.
MiiWii just coming up here, but Snowdrim is about to come up, which is the most punishing one to make.
Stravos is very comfortable with Snowdrim because he does a lot of any percent. Oh,
yep. Yeah, Oliver definitely knowing what he's talking about. Stravos never missing it. I mean, I agree with you. It's something that I would rarely see Stravos miss, but yeah, it's still possible. It's still a tricky jump, and maybe not getting his vectors just right.
I could say it's a trick jump.
Technically is at the end of the day, but this looks low again. I hope his confidence is not being messed up. He is actually going to be getting a second bonk. Maybe trying to give us a little show here, as people were already asking if it's over. This loses already 40 seconds, and it could be a minute if he misses it again.
Yeah.
Stravos trying to play it safe this time, hopefully not forgetting how to perform it. Looks high enough to make and does barely make it though. Still getting the moon. But this is a big time to say with the waiting time, he easily does more than 40 seconds, immediately giving Ollie a little bit more of a shot at catching up.
Yeah, giving MiiWii.
Not Ollie, yeah. MiiWii, come on, dude. Too many names with eyes.
Sorry. Yeah, MiiWii also getting the clip pretty nice. Stravos exiting with a 37-20.
37-20. Interesting. Now MiiWii, nice little rainbow spin there, trick jumping it up to get to that extra ground pound moon.
Yep.
Up throw for style points. Doesn't actually do anything, probably just lost time. But on the other hand, Stravos is now headed to C side, and this is also known as a Stravi side. Still, I think Stravos got back the record for this kingdom. I think. He had just figured it out. I don't know. Like his fish movement is bad. It's either him or Curbs with the record right now, but he's like definitely known to come up with a bunch of strats for this kingdom.
Very clean first moon, and we are going to be doing the fish clip in this. Yeah, it is known as Stravi side, and I don't know if this is the same case for BTT now, but I remember maybe like a month ago, Stravos had like almost all but like 3 or all but 2 BTT segments for Seaside, so it's definitely his domain.
Yeah, as far as I am aware, in the first video, either he had all of them or he had like all of them but the first or something like that. Like BTT, by the way, for everybody that maybe hasn't heard about that one, is the best theoretical time spreadsheet that we keep in the community, where we check the fastest segments that have ever completed from moon to moon, or like sub-room to sub-room, load zone to load zone. And he just basically dominated that entire kingdom.
Yeah, and LimCube here has made these compilations of all of the clips gone in together in one run, and they're pretty insane to watch. So if you haven't, you should watch those BTT videos at some point.
Yeah, definitely subscribe. Stravos now getting the under a dangerous ceiling moon. The ceiling, to be fair, not too dangerous in a speedrun perspective. There is these seaweed guys, but they are pretty slow.
Yeah, they're not too powerful. Also, let's see if MiiWii will get Snowdram first try to save some time.
True, that is actually still the important part. If he gets it first try, that's why he's gonna make up the time, and he does.
Yeah, he just saved a lot of time on Stravos there.
Yeah, definitely looking at less than 3 minutes now. In terms of the lead for Stravos, definitely less than 3.
Yeah, and Stravos had just completed the fish clip on your left side of the screen, where you uncapture the fish near the edge, and then you recapture it, and you can get behind and get this moon pretty easily out of bounds, and then get the Sphinx moon pretty easily out of bounds. Pretty nice. Also, I didn't see MiiWii's exit. That's my bad. I was looking at Stravos.
Come on, dude. Commentator not doing his job on his first day. I can't believe it.
It's like it was like a 40-20 or something. I don't know if someone in chat knows it, but
relying on chat. Unprofessional, yeah. But Stravos is gonna be headed to Luncheon Kingdom now. I'm sure he's already excited to attempt his meme strat, where he goes into first-person mode after Spear to make Mario probably, hopefully, appear in the cutscene.
Yeah, that trick doesn't save any time, and it's like frame perfect. It's really it's pretty funny when he gets it correctly though.
Yeah, he's always very happy about that one. It's like visibly happy. Oh, Stravos gonna be missing his first attempt at Salt Triple. Here goes for a very quick backup and does have enough height to make it work, so actually not losing much time at all.
By the way, if the exit was 40-20, then the difference is 3 minutes.
3 minutes exactly? Okay, that's actually surprising. Would surprise me, but might be possible.
Stravos's exit was 37-20.
Interesting. So still looking at those 3 minutes. MiiWii not capturing the cheap quite instantly, gets it with a spin throw ground pound. But let's see, Spewed here. Stravos is probably already getting ready to press the camera button. Let's see if he can get it. Oh, he does he's shaking. Stravos is actually so good at this. So Mario's just like standing inside of the cutscene.
Yeah,
and then he like warps back.
It's pretty funny.
Yep, hardest trick in the game.
Yeah, it's pretty funny when it happens. I don't know if MiiWii will go for it, but he might. You never know. Yep, Stravos finishing up the spirit fight in Luncheon, and if as far as I'm aware, Luncheon is the same as any %, or you just.
No, commentator not doing his job again. You do get you do get 2 extra moves in Luncheon in the Podoboo.
Oh yeah. For sure. Yeah. The Podoboo sub-room.
Didn't you do like the insane backup there where you like bounced on the moving lava thing?
Yeah, I did that, but I forgot about that sub. This is the same, except you do add a sub area for 2 extra moons.
Exactly, and this sub area used to be actually in the early any % route before we really figured out how to use up throws correctly. Because without up throws, Fox was actually not as fast as Podoboo, and an actual Podoboo actually still to this day gets close to a good Fox room, but Fox still being the better choice for any %. But Podoboo certainly fast enough for a dark side run.
Forks, when done really fast, is really clean looking. It's pretty hot, and so is the Podoboo room if done fast. You got some pretty cool movement there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was going for a camera manipulist. Looks like he will get it, saving some time there. He gets that RC. Yeah, he's really early. Heading into the Forks room while MiiWii is heading into the Luncheon Kingdom.
And after an absolutely crazy run from Mitch this week, I think end of last week, actually his first death happened here. And I'm hoping to not mix up my facts. I think it was like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He was like ahead of the record by like 20 seconds, and he was still slightly ahead even after that Fox death. So that room is still kind of scary sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that room is, if you die in that room, it's known as pulling a Curbs, because a while ago Curbs was on MiiWii messing up Salt Triple. A while ago, Curbs, Little Curbs 14 was on pretty hot, any % pace, was on record pace, and then he died in that room.
Okay, sorry, but MiiWii almost diving over that moon, and it would have probably hit the edge of the map, meaning a death, which is actually, I think that might have been a death that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
But
also,
saves himself.
Yeah, he saved himself. That's good, because that could be pretty costly.
Maybe trying to go for a swag strat. It looks like he tried to go for like some up throw dive. And it goes for a vault. Yeah, just okay, dude.
Dive vault.
Interesting decision making here. Probably only losing around 15 seconds for nothing, but hey, at least he got the vault.
Yeah, also picking up some coins. I'm guessing just for safety. I think his coin count is looking pretty good. He does have around 90 more coins than Stravos, interestingly. Currently.
That is indeed interesting. I mean, both of them obviously buying moons in the snow shop and in the metro shop and the wooded shop as well, so they should have both bought 3 moons so far. I'm pretty sure, no, but Stravos definitely got both of the Commentators. Maybe we got a little bit of extra coins in some, at some spot.
So Stravos is in the extra sub area that you do not do in any %.
Very fast.
He does get it pretty fast.
Yeah, that is quite interesting. That's almost like 100 extra coins for MiiWii.
Yeah.
But should be fine.
Yeah, if it comes down to the Toadette Moon.
Yeah, but I think Stravos should be fine too. Yeah, like if you just add the 300 moons you already spent from if you add the 300 coins he already spent from buying moons, he's at 700, and if you add the death warp stuff, he's basically at 800, and he's also gonna get another ruined hint art, which should basically get him at 1000. So you'll get enough coin scraps along the way. Like both of them should be fine getting that achievement.
MiiWii is looking obviously more comfortable than Stravos. Missing that crate a couple times, gets it on his third try, losing some time there, but that's not too big, obviously.
Yeah, not too big at all. It's also going to be interesting though to see if they do get that ruined hint art. I've seen runners while being in thoughts forget that ruined hint art before, especially when they are in any percent muscle memory. That's something that you don't care about.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Also in Ruin, you have to get this chess moon. That can be pretty tricky to get sometimes. Not especially the movement up to the pylon can be pretty tricky.
Now I'm interested to see if Stravos is going to go for any cool strides there. I think he goes for the cap return jump to the left. But yeah, he has definitely been grinding some dark side, so I'm pretty sure he is aware of the hint art there and is probably going to get that easily.
Oh, I didn't get a look at Stravos's luncheon exit. That's my bad again.
Should be around a 47-30, but that's like just like close.
Yeah.
It could have been a 35, could have been a 28. Let's just call it a 47-30 to kind of access the difference once MiiWii gets there. But now let's see what Stravos has planned in terms of movement to get over to the chest. And then especially also after he grabs this moon. Very fast activation, homes Cappy in, so he can touch the moon immediately. Cap return jump to the left. As long as he doesn't bonk here, which he doesn't, that's basically optimal.
Oh, maybe taking a bonk trying to get up to the moon on the jutting crag. Bonking again. That's really unfortunate. A dram strat, basically. Snow dram is not a traditional dram strat. We named it that for a meme, basically. But a dram strat is where you put Cappy near a capturable object, you go do something, and then you have Cappy capture the capturable object to save some movement back to the capturable object, basically. That's my attempt at explaining it.
True. I mean, it works out. That's essentially it. Now, Stravos did not forget that Captain Toad hint art, coin hint art, being able to get those 200 coins for free. He has to wait anyways for the dragon to attack, so 200 coins will be
Ruin is a pretty large auto scroller, basically. As long as you do it semi-fast, it should be roughly the same speed.
Exactly. This might actually be a race where, and this is rare, where we don't see both runners in Ruined at the same time. It is still possible because even after this fight is done, you do spend a lot of time actually just waiting there, but this could be one of the instances where Stravos has already left before MiiWii even gets a chance of doing that. That was actually pretty much, even though he was late, still a very nice portable capture because the portable was already in the lava, so it got instantly move. Was already almost gone.
Yeah, one thing about this sub room is that first moon is one of those moons where if you don't kind of look at it, it can despawn and take a second to grab. It's
very good stuff from MiiWii, by the way.
Yeah. He obviously had some trouble capturing the Kodabu, but he still got it pretty easily, so...
Yeah, the position it was very nice, and after that it looked clean, and yeah, for that first moon, interestingly enough, you actually want to look down, because that way... oh, what? Huh? Okay, I guess he hit the ground before, because he didn't actually bonk. I guess he hit the ground so he could wall slide. Usually a dive against the wall ends up in a bonk, but he probably touched the ground, so it was a wall slide instead.
Pretty clean.
Something I've seen before. It's probably because of that weird ground texture.
Yeah, that could be why. Also, I don't think they'll be in Ruin at the same time.
Uh-oh. Yep, looks like Stravos will be gone as the ship is about to take off now, and that's all the Ruin we get to see from his screen, and MiiWii is making his way there now. So we are looking at a probably close to the 4-minute mark lead now, which is where Stravos starts really thriving on this lead, but once again, gonna keep in mind that we still have that dark side. The discount bullies raiding with Interesting. No, thank you so much, Discount Boys, for supporting Global Speedrun Association.
Yes. Thank you for the raid of 10 people. Looking like me with a 51-34. So I can see what that difference is out of luncheon. 4 minutes and 4 seconds out of luncheon. And I imagine it's going to be around the same for Ruined. Since Ruined is known as a auto-scroller kingdom.
Now, Stravos just grabbed that checkpoint here in Bowser, something that will be crucial later on for the second visit of Bowser's Kingdom. MiiWii is standing there at the start of Ruined, not really knowing what to do, maybe. But at the same time, I can kind of relate to it, because if you try and buffer a spin point at the start of Ruined, it's a little bit strange. Arguably more strange than other things. Almost misses his cap that looked like a Valo dive at first glance, but gets it and gets the pylon fast. So actually really nice.
Yeah, there's a strat you can do with that chest moon. It's a moon clip. It's really hard. Basically you have to just do a regular moon clip up into the ceiling there, and it'll save some time, but it's really hard. I don't think any runner in this tournament will go for it.
Yeah, would be unlikely.
Stravos with the pretty clean shards so far. Got dived back pretty easily.
That's a nice RCJ, roll cancel jump to the right there to get the third shard and jumping towards the third. Ooh. Very cool here, getting rid of the Pokyo, breaking the block and collecting that final shot. As he now gets that poke moon and then another quick moon behind the tower. This is apparently a tower, it's at least what it's called. The structure here.
Yeah, this building. Yeah,
that's the strat I like to see. Just one single roll gets you across that section really nicely.
Maybe doing a pretty cool strat where you get behind the forks, so while Cappy is coming back, coming back to Mario, it'll automatically get those forks.
Exactly. Now, MiiWii already collected the coin hint art, which is nice. So both of them, we can basically stop counting towards the coin achievement. Both of them should be absolutely set. Stravos there, not the most optimal moon grab. You can always see how fast you grab that moon depending on how far that pipe is sticking out of the ground, and it's actually not going to be opting for Bowser Dram, another Dram strat, where you basically have Cappy hover close to that wire and then get the moon, a capture warp back. Yeah, interesting. Not sure if I remember seeing him do that in any percent, but maybe I remember wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did it in any percent. I don't know why he didn't opt for it this time. Maybe it's just he hasn't done it in a while or something like that.
Goes for the GSA moons here in this visit, and let's see if he's gonna opt to take the pipe or if he's gonna opt to take the movement through the hole on the top left. But since he's so low, it looks like he's just gonna opt for a pipe. Yeah. The movement towards the left is a little bit tricky to do. That pipe, even though this animation does take kind of long, is still close to the same speed. Maybe loses 0.5, but that's about it.
Yeah. So we'll see what MiiWii's exit is in a second. I saw what Stravos's was. It was a 51 flat. It looks like MiiWii's going to be getting a 55.04. So that's a 4 minutes and 1 second. 4 minutes and 4 seconds. 4 minutes and 4 seconds.
4:04 difference here. As Stravos is obviously fighting Harriet first, since he's a speedrunner. Speedrunners do opt for the Harriet fight first. So that's the only way he does. Like the speedrunners basically get Harriet first, and every casual player usually gets a topper, for example. But since Stravos is a speedrunner, obviously, it's going to be opting for Harriet.
And I know that MiiWii is part of the coin flip gang, where before the run started, he flipped a coin where heads meant topper and tails meant Harriet. So, yeah. So he could be a casual or he could be a speedrunner. I'm hoping for a speedrunner because Harriet first is right.
It's right, exactly. It's on the left side, but it's right. Anyways, Topper has still to be defeated, which Stravos did very easily here on the left screen, as MiiWii starts out with the first story in Bowser's Kingdom.
That was a pretty good topper.
Pretty good topper. As now we will head to the second portion of Bowser's, and actually that's way longer than in any percent, because right now we collected like 3 extra moons: the moon behind the wall, the moon. Okay, I guess Stravos also did the GSA moon, so there's actually quite a few moons on that part.
Yeah.
But here we get a moon from like a block, a poke moon, a moon on a nose. We actually have to get this checkpoint now. I hope Stravos is going to be able to roll through it, and he will, because we warp back later here. So some extra moons here.
This is Bowser's Kingdom is one of the kingdoms where we do revisit, get some pretty fast free moons. And so MiiWii not opting to go for dive back, but dive back doesn't save that much, and it's pretty risky sometimes. And if you miss it, you'll have to take a bonk and most likely take damage. So.
2 red moons spawning in at the same time here as Stravos gets the one from the block. MiiWii spawned in the Shards moon. Is now going to get the moon behind that tower too. But yeah, Stravos is actually going to take his Pokio with him as he climbs up the structure, because we will need him for another poke the wall moon behind that pillar, that wire that we usually take up towards that boss fight.
And we'll see how fast MiiWii grabs this. Oh, kind of messing up there as well. Also, one thing to note, if you walk too close to that pylon with the Pokio, you can get stuck in a capture forever, basically. The way the Pokio works, for some reason, if you walk by a capturable object, it'll automatically capture that object, and then if you try to capture the Pokio, it'll capture that object again. So you're kind of stuck and you have to go get a new Pokio. Pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, it can actually just straight up like burn to death. Like it gets basically shocked and just disappears if you like run against the pylon. But Stravos starts up with some pretty fast climbing actions. Is obviously just going to be doing the same thing that we do in 80%, because all we want to do right now is defeat Meg. And once we are done here, actually, we are starting off with Moon.
Interesting choice by MiiWii, deciding to get that moon there instead of getting it after we get this moon. It's an interesting choice. Probably
a weird choice, but yeah, a weird choice. But wait, whatever. He does have to get out here again. Ooh. Okay, does it this way. He could have grabbed the moon. Oh, he didn't get the checkpoint yet. Interesting.
Oh, okay. Stravos finishing up the mech fight with that target acquired. Also MiiWii being a speedrunner as well.
We're speedrunning over here. It makes sense. This is Global Speedrun Association, so
yeah.
The competitors obviously do fight Harry at first.
And the casuals who are featured on this channel fight Topper first, but...
Yeah, exactly. They basically race at Global Casual Association.
Casual Gamer Association. So yeah, MiiWii gonna be getting Harry one more time and heading over to Topper, finish up the bunnies split, basically,
and there's still one more moon to collect here from Stravos. Hopefully not forgetting that one, because we do get one moon after the story event, which is just hidden behind the Odyssey on a fence.
Yep, you have to spin Cappy on this fence and moon spawns. It would be pretty fast, and we could use it at 90% if there wasn't a pretty long cutscene of the moon spawning.
Yep, that's the problem. Still don't really understand why they even exist. Like, why does it have to be like a 3-second cutscene where the moon like flies in a huge arc? But hey, whatever. Now MiiWii is actually on 1 HP here in the Topper fight,
so
hopefully not taking a death to that guy. He survives. But yeah, this is basically MiiWii being done with the first section of Bowser's, Stravos being done with Bowser's, and he's gonna make his way to Moon Kingdom, where he's gonna collect 6 extra moons, as far as I know, in his route, because he gets that up the rafters moon and skips Lost Shop later to skip a specific text when leaving the kingdom. But yeah, other than that, obviously from now on everything is different. We get those 6 moons here, and then we actually like don't end the run, but we do stuff in Mushroom, we do stuff in all of the revisits.
The difference right now is 4 minutes and 25 seconds. By the way, well, that's the difference for the bunny split, and I didn't get to see his Bowser's.
Yeah, you're fired. Yeah. But Stravos now making his way to the Shining on the Moon. which is this one.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah. The moons that you get in Moon 1 are pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if you do them well. This bunny can take long if he jukes you, but if you know what to do, it looks like Stravos does. Hits him once, makes him jump into him. It's the super fast moon. Same for the rock. Like the rock is just like on your way. Might as well just grab him and get a free moon.
Yeah, if you're like me, getting that bunny might take a couple thousand tries, but that's okay.
It definitely can be annoying for sure.
Ooh, MiiWii doing a pretty cool strat where you flick onto the side of the flooring there. Yeah. Also, Stravos doing this triple jump to get to
the chest. Yeah, this is probably after the White Spire, which he will get the slowest moon in Moon, because you do have to get over here. The other one, the Up the Rafters moon, obviously extremely fast if you just get normal way. But yeah, Stravos is gonna jump up the cathedral on the right instead to spin his head on a little tower there to spawn in another moon, which is just below the usual cutoff for Darkseid, but that allows him to skip one moon and lost, and the slowest one there is the shop, so he can skip on a text where the game usually tells you, hey, you need to get these items. Yeah, you just unlock these items because you hit that specific moon threshold.
Yeah. Yeah, all of this is happening after a pretty big trick, probably the biggest time saving. I wouldn't even say trick. It's kind of like, I don't even know. I feel like it was intended by the developers. Basically, you skip all of the moon cave to get to the chapel early.
Low battery coming out here from MiiWii on top of the mech. He's probably shaking right now, and I hope. Usually, whenever this message shows up, you still have like an hour to play, so that should be fine. Let's hope so.
Yeah, he can always switch to his Joy-Cons, I think. But who wants that?
Oh no, yeah, I was about to say. Hell no, dude. Well, MiiWii just fell off the mech as he tried to hit Spewart and took damage and instantly grabbed the heart, like the same frame. Takes damage again though from the hula hoops of death. Okay, gets the poke here. It's gonna be shaking twice to make it back onto the mech. It's Spewart first, just needs to make it back on top of the mech, and then hopefully being able to finish up the mech fight.
Yeah.
Target not acquired, but mech completed.
Yeah, not mech completed, not as fast, but mech still completed.
Indeed. Mech indeed still completed. Now let's see how this goes. Stravos about to finish up the Bowser fight here in the Moon Kingdom, and as we said, did get those 6 moons. And after that, we are gonna drop into the post game. And actually, in his last race, that Goomba jump in Mushroom Kingdom has been one to give him a little bit of trouble. In the last race that I was commentating, at least, he did miss it twice. I know he had. I'm pretty sure he did have another race. No, I think it was rescheduled. I think this race was about to happen and then was rescheduled. But anyways, let's see if he is able to get it well this time.
Oh yeah. Stravos is coming up on the escape section of Moon, where you can opt to do this pretty big trick called 2D skip. It saves around 2 seconds, and if you die, you lose. If you mess it up and die, you lose around. I don't even know. It's like
probably like a minute, like not exact, maybe a little less. Let's say like 50 seconds. But yeah, definitely around that. It's a pretty costly death. But actually, considering there's also like a death animation, let's just say a minute. It's like a real big problem. Now Stravos has a lead where he could technically have that happen and still be fine.
Yeah,
but once again, that's something we don't usually expect from these runners.
Yeah, especially Stravos. I know I said that with Snowdrum and he still messed it up twice, but he does that in any %. So he should.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like Stravos is not the guy to make these mistakes. Like we've seen other players that try to go as fast as possible and super technical, like Econ, make a mistake like that before, but Stravos usually has these very hard strats down. One mistake that actually continuously came up was in Moon and like the Moon Cave skip and even the movement afterwards that Stravos has been making in his race career here on GSA, but usually has shown incredible consistency.
And we're heading into the escape section.
Yes, like he gets that early pillar with a little bit of extra shots.
Yeah, early pillar is pretty tricky, but if you've seen like Miles pillars can get pretty crazy sometimes if you do them correctly.
Yep, super underrated section for a long time until we realized, man, we can save a lot of time here if we play well.
Yeah, and Stravos is gonna finish out the any percent split with like a very, very low 107, it looks like. 107.5 or something like that. 06.
Yeah. Looking at the 107 exit time for the 80% potion, but keep in mind this race run is not over, because 80%, yes, would end here. He just completed the game, he beat the game, but he didn't beat the dark side yet, which is the incentive here, and he definitely doesn't have enough moons to do that yet. He's probably sitting at around, I actually can't give you the exact number, but I think it's like 150, maybe 140, around that, where MiiWii is actually dropping really low, but is going to make its jump over to the other side.
Ooh.
Bonking on that chest.
Yeah, also, bonking will, unless you're doing Rocket Flower refresh, will kill the Rocket Flower. And basically, Rocket Flower refreshes if you bonk while Cappy has the Rocket Flower on him, or you ground pound, or you do something that would destroy Rocket Flower while Cappy's out. You can get that Rocket Flower and it'll reset the timer. Ooh.
MiiWii falling on that Moon Cave skip's gonna opt for a spin pound backup, hopefully making it work this time. I'm not sure why he likes cap start. Okay, interesting. Nice spin, and not spin, but nice side flip on that smaller ledge. Stravos going for a long jump on the left screen to enter the mushroom shop, which can be quite tricky. And this is where we already start seeing him buying that shop moon earlier. Not gonna get extra text. And now MiiWii is gonna opt for this moon instantly. Actually pretty nice try to get it without collecting the white spire moon, which you find on the outside portion. So that's gonna mean that he's gonna go for the shop moon and Lost and get that extra text.
And the thing about the mushroom and Lost shops are that they're unnecessarily hard to get into for some reason. It's just very weird. You can bonk like 12 times and still not get in. It's very weird. So MiiWii doing the boss fight in Moon, the Bowser fight. It's the hats are mostly the same. It's just like they have extra hats, but you can still do the fast hat strats, as you can see, like how you do in Cloud. And Stravos is rolling over to the timer challenge, where sometimes you can see someone take a scooter over to the moon that's activated by the timer challenge. And he is gonna be coming up on this Goomba jump where you have to jump over to this platform. It's pretty tricky sometimes.
That has been the specific strat that he did have issues with the last time, but not this time. Gets a very far and nice one, easily bridges that gap. And yeah, the reason, there's obviously a long animation here, but since we get that other Goomba moon anyways, we might as well keep the Goomba jump over, and this moon is still fairly fast.
And he's gonna be grabbing this moon and then heading into the shop to talk to, or not to talk to anyone, to look at the hint art. But he will talk to the toad outside of the
Wow. So I was actually spin pounded on top of that like flagpole, something that I haven't seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. So checking this hint art for a moon, then warping back to the Odyssey.
Yep, and we just looked at the cap hint art, which is where we are about to go. The first revisit here, and probably the second. I mean, it depends on the player, but Lost and Cap 2 are pretty close in terms of what's the harder kingdom. Yeah, Cap definitely up there. Super hard jumps and tricky strats to go for if you want to be as fast as possible.
Yeah, there's especially this jump right at the beginning in Cap that can really mess you up. It's pretty tricky, And I know we've seen Heather Cool up to get the Goomba, the Paragoomba, fly over there. It's much more consistent. Nice. MiiWii doing XD skip. That does not save any time. But it's a meme. Also, Stravos looking like he's gonna opt for
the smart strat, in my opinion. You can go for a triple jump there, which would obviously be technically a little bit faster because you don't have to stop at all. But that way, you can assure that you get the long jump off the railing, and that makes this jump so much easier than trying to like freestyle a triple jump or even instantly long jump off the railing. I really like this. Average time for the speedrun would probably be, I'd say, 1 hour and 55 minutes.
Yep.
But Stravos here easily capable of a 150 this run and potentially even lower, maybe looking at a 148, 147, that kind of caliber.
Yeah. So yeah, the average time is around a 155, 150, around that area. For sure.
Stravos with some nice confidence here. We see new runners of this category often take a little bit of time after Captain Toad because they don't exactly know where this moon hidden in the fog is. But he knows it, he just spin pounds, flies towards that one, and grabs that one really quickly.
Yep. Looks like MiiWii's going to be ending with the any percent split. They won 12-41. Meaning that the difference is 5 minutes and 35 seconds out of any percent. So pretty big difference.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we did talk a lot already about Darkseid, so I don't think we need to ride that horse. But now Stravos is gonna opt to go to talk to Peach. The first time we visit her, he did activate the quest to find Peach in Mushroom. And there's one really hard second trick coming up here in Cap. I know he also has a little bit of a safety strat for that one, where you don't rush yourself, because there's no need to. Because he is gonna get the bird after he gets the shop moon. So right now he's gonna talk to the shopkeeper, buy the shop moon, and that is gonna reset the bird's position in a position where he is basically gonna be able to get it by performing a tricky jump and then get another moon close to it too. Let's see if he does it. And how he does it too. Looks like he's gonna opt for a long jump there, and he was pretty quick doing a side flip. Jesus Christ, is he actually gonna be able to? Okay, so he's alive, but the bird is gone, and that's a problem. Because we get 5 out of 5 bird moons to a specific achievement. I'm sure Stravos is aware of that, which is what I mean that he's probably gonna get the Paragoomba and try to catch him.
Yeah,
but the bird is probably pretty far away. Let's see how he does that. Maybe he gets him later. He might be aware of a spot where he could get him later, but he needs to keep in mind that there's 5 out of 5 birds. If he just ends up missing this bird moon, he's gonna have to get 2 backup moons.
Yeah. Which is very unfortunate because there's not too many super fast moons.
Yeah, he could just get that lost shop, which is like not too bad. I guess he just gets that extra text and another moon, unless once again he knows where he could get. But he's getting close to the end of the kingdom, so I'm assuming he's just gonna opt to get 2 extras.
Yeah, possibly. My guess is he would get the lost shop and maybe tiles if he knows where they are.
Actually, there's also like another pretty cool thing that he could do in Lake, where he gets
are you talking about the painting
Toad
jump?
moon. No, he already got the painting jump thing. Like he already.
Oh yeah, he did like.
He could get the Captain Toad moon and the other moon that just sits in that lower section. But looks like he's waiting for the Paragoomba here and probably knows that the bird is about to come up here, which would solve his problems. I'm not sure if that's calculated accordingly. I can't see the bird quite yet.
I think he's looking for it. He sees it.
Is he there? Okay, nice.
Nice.
I actually didn't even know he flies that direction at some point. Oh, yeah. Probably because he scared him away. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Because he scared him into the other direction, he was taking that way. That works, so no backup moons.
Yep, no backup moons.
Definitely something we didn't.
On the right side, MiiWii successfully getting the Goombet jump. Pretty clean by MiiWii.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was just thinking that danger sign moon in the background there is also not the worst backup moon that you can just fly to after you get the one next to Glasses Bridge with the Paragoomba. Not too bad, sorry, 20-second moon around that.
Around there. So I'm gonna be heading to the Lake Kingdom now. And he exited with a 1:16.05. Looked like.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. MiiWii also activating the Find Peach quest. He will also meet her in the Cap Kingdom later and in the Lake Kingdom, and in actually every kingdom we revisit, because that is another achievement we get. Talk to Peach 5 times to get that achievement moon.
And they're also pretty quick moons, which is nice.
Yeah, especially Cap, Lake, Cascade. Peach is just like sitting there. We can talk to her. The only ones that are questionable are Lost and Bowser's. In Lost, we have to basically do an extra warp just to talk to her. And in Bowser's, basically the same, because we could just get Bowser's shop in the first visit instead, so we could not get Peach there. But the other Peaches are very nice, and we get that achievement moon.
The difference is 5 minutes 45 seconds out of Mushroom, by the way.
Wow, Stravos is really running away with it now. But let's just watch and see how this ends. At the end of the day, we gotta keep in mind that runners in this in this tournament do gain. This is a group stage right now, and runners do gain and lose points depending by how much they win or lose by. So the more Stravos wins by, the more points he's actually going to get out of this one. And if MiiWii does make a little bit of a comeback, he can still snag some extra points, potentially affecting the outcome.
Also, Stravos going for this pretty risky strat where it's not really risky, but it's pretty tricky, I guess is the right word, where you have to get that Dory Moon while the timer challenge is going. It's pretty tricky. But
and yeah, there. By the way, just to get into chat, right? There's no identifier on this overlay how many moons these runners have, because they are just following a route. Every time they leave a kingdom, though, you'll be able to see what their moon count is at.
Monkey.
That was close there by MiiWii, and controller also being low.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
It's not too bad, in my opinion, to play with the wire sometimes, but...
Oh, I mean, it's definitely worse in Odyssey than in most other games, because here you actually basically have to consistently shake, which makes the cable a lot more annoying than other games, but it's possible. Let's say it's possible. But looks like he hasn't plugged it in yet, because that message came up again.
Yep. And he also, I guess, could have another Pro Controller at hand or something like that.
Yeah, and I can definitely understand chat's confusion about this. It's just something that comes from experience. As you watch more runs, you'll understand that, for example, the Lake 2 visit happens after the Cap 2 revisit. So we know just by looking at the kingdoms they are in, that Stravos is currently in the lead. And in this game, since we basically follow a route to get the fastest moons, that alone will tell you that Stravos is in the lead. Like, they're not getting different moons, they're just getting the fastest moons.
Yeah. Also, MiiWii coming up on exiting the shop on accident. Looks like coming up on that bird, where he could save some time on Stravos, and Stravos did miss the bird. And if MiiWii gets the bird, then he's going to be saving some time, which would be pretty good.
True. Now, Stravos struggles a little bit here to talk to Peach. That is only a problem if he's not able to make it up the timer challenge before it does time out. It can be quite weird. MiiWii on the right screen opting for a safety strat to collect the bird. The bird is not cooperating.
The bird is trying to juke MiiWii, but looks like he still got it. And also Stravos still getting that timer challenge.
And that is actually going to come into his favor. Unfortunately, not getting a buffer jump in there, which could have avoided him being stunned. But yeah, that way Cappy was back basically in Mario's possession earlier, which allowed him to instantly capture this Goomba stack, which he's going to bring over to the Odyssey to then again get another Goombat moon here.
Yep. And MiiWii did get the bird, so saving some time over Stravos, which is nice. And Stravos is exiting Lake 2. So...
Yep, and it's actually really interesting if you think about the the order we choose these revisits in, because if you just think purely about menuing, it would be more efficient to MiiWii actually forgot to get his cap back from the timer challenge, so he had to wait there for the spinning sign. But yeah, if you just think about menuing purely, it would make more sense to go to Cascade just after you're done with cap, because it's just one menuing input. Also right there, by the way, for chat, you were able to see at the end of the Kingdom for Stravos how many moons he had. I think it should be close, like I think like 167 or something is usually the count in cap.
Something around there.
And MiiWii should have, I mean, in Lake he should have had like 184 or something. I think that's the number. It might be 85. And MiiWii should come up to 167. So Stravos has this one full Kingdom lead right now. But what I was going to say is it would make more sense to go to Cascade first. But since there's a hint art in Lake, which you need to actually look at before a moon actively spawns in the Cascade overworld, we go to Lake first, look at the hint art, and then in Cascade we get that hint art moon.
Yeah, and also you saw that MiiWii has 167 moons out of Cap 2. Difference went down a bit to 5 minutes 51 seconds.
Alright, so still holding himself over that 6-minute threshold.
If I actually don't know the exact moon count that you have to have.
No, it is 100. It all makes sense. Like it is usually 167, but if we look back at the Moon Kingdom, Stravos got that extra moon there over MiiWii, because that way, and that's actually the efficient route. MiiWii maybe didn't catch up on that yet. It's not the very best route. There's even a better choice, but let's not make it complicated. Basically, Stravos got one extra moon in the Moon Kingdom to allow himself to skip one in the Lost Kingdom. So once they leave Lost, they'll be at the exact same amount again. It's just a choice that Stravos made that should save him around probably a second or two.
Yeah.
Like just more efficient routing.
So, yeah, you can get this rock rolling moon with the dino, but I see Stravos is going for that insta break because sometimes the dino doesn't want to grab that moon.
Yeah, it's fine to uncapture the dino there. I like it even better. You just uncapture the dino as soon as you break the rock, grab the rock moon that way, because as you said, the hitbox is horrible. And from there you just leave the dino behind. It's even easier to climb up the wall, and it's even a more direct line. It just works better that way.
This hat skip and a jump moon is pretty scary sometimes, because like the cloud platforms sometimes disappear on you. But
yeah, that's the one problem, and the other one is that they actually extend. So if you're like diving towards them and Cappy hits them, they can extend towards you, pushing you away, or you do that just straight up bonk. And if that happens, you die, because that is over a death zone. Ooh, Stravos getting the 2D trick jump, I like it.
Nice.
That's actually really weird to do. You essentially almost have to jump out of the air, but that is a efficient 2D movement idea.
Yeah, and Stravos. I did see Stravos get the Peach Moon earlier.
True, that's an adaptation that he really liked, because it allows him to instantly go over to this chain jump here, without having to like awkwardly wait.
And Stravos did do the trick where you kind of push the chain jump into one of these fossils, and it kind of makes it easier to get that fossil to break, because sometimes that fossil is really hard to break.
Yeah, good observation. It is quite literally the one part where the game is obviously broken. Like, Nintendo cleaned this game up really well, but that hitbox is just straight up sometimes not working.
Yeah. Yeah, so he obviously is not going to be getting the Peach Moon since he already got it in
at the start, yeah. And this one here is the Hindered Moon. That moon only unlocked because Stravos looked at this picture on the wall close to the staircase at the beginning of Lake Kingdom. And is gonna talk to the purple shop guy. He actually rolled against the normal shop guy, so he ignored him since Intense's A input activated the purple shop text.
Yeah, that was pretty funny, but I don't think he had enough purple coins to buy anything. Unfortunately.
Yep, only 3, not even able to afford a caveman hat.
Unfortunate. So,
there's actually a moon that you can get by wearing the caveman outfit, which is obviously horribly slow. for a category like this, but would have been a nice little twist.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you do that in like any category except like Hundo and AUM.
Yeah,
that's
literally the only ones. Actually, I'm not sure if that moon is available before post game. Like maybe it's available once you revisit, so it might be in like all moons no post game or something like that.
Yeah, possibly.
That's the only chance.
So taking a bonk before heading out into the Bowser 2.
Yep, Bowser 2. Bowser painting the second to last revisit. I mean, I guess we revisit Mushroom if you want to count that, but at least where we actively do moons and movement, and this one is probably my favorite, especially everything after those next two moons. If done optimally, feels very, very nice to do.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice, pretty nice
revisit. Yeah, for sure.
Also, it looked like it was a 1:26:53 from MiiWii, that exit, so 6 minutes and 4 seconds difference between them out of these two.
Alright, MiiWii doing nice movement to get up to the wire. You can just spin pon right from the start, and it's not gonna talk to Peach quite instantly, which once again we've seen that being adapted by some runners, but not necessarily everybody. Initially, when the route documents were made, Peach was intended to be gotten later on, but it's a personal choice. MiiWii bonking here might be dangerous for this timer challenges cycle. Never mind, it's actually free. For some reason, I thought this timer challenge is like close, but apparently not.
Yeah, I maybe in like Superstar it is.
Oh yeah, that's probably what I remember. I've seen like this mod, the Superstar mode, where the timer challenge is like 3 seconds.
Yeah, you gotta do some cool strats to get that moon in Superstar.
But Stravos here, trying to do this really cool strat. One of the things I really enjoy about this part of Bowser. Didn't quite make Cappy reach that slingshot, but if you do like this roll cancel jump before getting the moon above the poison swamp. Oh yeah, that is definitely scary here. The bunny, if you miss it, it can really make your life hard. Like it will jump all the way down on the roof. Like it's horrible to get if you miss it.
It'll run around and kind of drive you crazy because it's pretty hard to get if you don't get it right at the start.
Truly.
Yeah.
Truly. And Strauss not opting for the slingshot, which I have yet to see some comparison, because it looks like it's fast, but it also is like kind of slow. I mean, yeah, that didn't make sense. But I don't know if it's faster to get the slingshot or not. But I mean, it's at the end of the day probably close to just being personal preference. Strauss is gonna miss that. What? I'm like super confused. He missed a slingshot, but on the right screen, MiiWii like bounced of Cappy, but like on the last pixel of Cappy on the right. That looked really weird.
That's interesting.
Oh, did he actually get it? Dude, that's the hardest strat in the game.
Did he get the pipe suck?
He got the pipe suck with that camera angle. If anybody ever did that movement, you're gonna have to understand that the camera is working against you like as hard as it can. But Stravos long jumping into that pipe, that's like really hard, not even kidding.
Yeah, it's really unnecessarily hard, and the camera's really uncooperative for no reason.
Homing Cappy down towards these points is going to allow him to do a return jump out of that little alcove. Very nice.
Nice. Also, I remember Stravos had a pretty nice timer challenge section too. Pretty good movement up to the timer challenge. So that whole section was pretty clean.
Yeah, truly. Yeah, the only thing, I think he missed the ground pound moon once with the birds, but other than that, everything looked nice.
We got the
2D trick jump here on the right as well.
Jump. The only cool trick jump.
Oh, Stravos having the confidence to opt for a spin pon there. There's some unnecessarily hard strats revolving around camera in this game. Entering this shop is one of them. Entering the mushroom and lost shop is one of them. And also that pipe suck strat that he ended up getting. But performing pretty well overall. Let's see. MiiWii also does extend that chain jump. Very nice. Gets it first try.
Nice. Pretty good strat. Who found that again?
Schulzer found that like weird extended hitbox strat, which is like we really don't know why it works and also why it doesn't work sometimes, but it's just like actually consistent if you do it.
Yeah. Otherwise, that has a pretty jank hitbox. So
I'm excited to see, like, actually Mitch, I think, was able to do this node strat optimally, which is like a really cool strat to see done perfectly. But you can, the nodes that Stravos is about to get after the next Pokemon, you can get them with one basically fluent movement where you start on the right and then extend your beak to the left and get all nodes with like one clean movement. I'm not sure if that's something he has been practicing though.
Possibly, if Stravos does do it, it's pretty. I think he attempted it, but he accidentally
kind of got stuck. Hopefully being able to turn around here, left the poke a little early. As long as Mario cooperates, he is fine. What? MiiWii also talking to the purple shop guy? What is this? This is actually mirroring
it's the new
gameplay from earlier.
Stravos exiting. Not exiting, he has to get the bird and then he will exit the Bowser 2. Ooh.
I respect that Stravos there with lots of confidence. That's basically all you can do for this bird strat, because depending on if the bird looks at you or not, you will get it first try, but they just go for the first person strat to spawn the bird in. Basically, because if you're in first person, the bird is going to spawn in. I guess Mario is not counted to actually stand there, which makes the game spawn the bird and then instantly gets hit. But yeah, he had the confidence to just, okay, I'm just gonna roll there, I'm gonna attempt to get it. If I'm lucky, it's gonna be fast, and if I'm unlucky, I'm gonna lose time anyway. Because it's still better to do this than like trying to be careful at your first attempt and then missing it anyways. So I respect it.
Okay, yeah. Let's see, I saw the difference out of Cascade 2 is... Oh wait, no, I don't think I did that right. I don't have the exact time difference out of Cascade 2. My bad.
It's fine, it's fine. We are about to see what is also even interesting. Stravos is in like overall pace is something we will be able to kind of see as soon as he gets close to the ending here. He, as he did get that moon in Moon, is going to be able to skip out on, because his entire post game has actually been really solid, just like something to consider. But yeah, he did get that moon in Moon, the Up the Rafters moon, not the Up the Rafters, the tip of the White Spire moon. So he is going to be able, and he already did that, to skip the shop visit here. And once again, that's going to grant him to skip that extra text box at the end of the game.
Yeah, it saves some time there. Not going for reverse trapedal.
That was still interesting. He like, I mean, that was unintentional. He threw Cappy and activated the blocks below him. It's going to be taking damage here. I think you can actually do this damageless and still be faster if you wait for the Trapito to take like 4 steps, but whatever. It's probably going to be a small difference. MiiWii saving himself with the wall jump there.
Nice.
Almost bonking against those spikes.
Yeah, that Stravos made it look pretty easy, but that Captain Toad jump is pretty hard sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think that is already hard, but what's even harder is what comes afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Jumping out of this alcove in this weird angle to then wall jump up here, and he does wall jump in a good position because this tree does have this very, very weird property. Is probably one of the hardest parts of Lost 2, but doing shards optimally is close to it. And then actually everything afterwards is just as ridiculous. Like Lost 2 is definitely crazy hard to do fast.
It's pretty hard. Yeah. Also, MiiWii messing up the bunny on the right. You saw the bunny came all the way down here, so he lost probably like I don't know how much time, but a decent amount of time to that bunny messing him up.
Now Stravos is gonna make his climb up this propeller pillar to then get the moon on top, and we will see if he opts for a Wiggler capture, which it seems like he doesn't. So he's gonna try to collect these moons, these nodes without the Wiggler. Jumps over here, gets some nodes, his collecting returns, but these 2 nodes are a little bit stubborn. He does get them in time before the timer runs out.
Ooh.
Now this is tricky.
Yeah. So
this is tricky. You have to collect this bunny, and he just rolls sniping, and this is definitely a tricky part.
That bunny usually, for me at least, without using the Wiggler is pretty hard to get.
Yeah, and yeah, same. Like in my opinion, that's what makes the Wigglerless notes hard. Oh god, Stravos doesn't have control over Cappy. That was actually amazingly well done for not having control over Cappy there. He somehow managed to get that wall jump, that wall slide, and then turn around and dive back up because he didn't have Cappy. He couldn't he couldn't cap throw to change his direction. So he had to wait until he was able to menu and return Mario. That was actually really well done because that would have been a death.
Yeah, and he also forgot to bring down the stair thing. So yeah. So yeah, MiiWii is I don't know if he'll go for the spin clown that Stravos went for and then bonked on. We'll find out in a moment.
Okay, I really like this play from Stravos. I've seen many runners to like triple jump way too high there, and then they missed the grab onto the palm tree, but he controlled himself to grab the palm tree low and then flip himself into this moon. So Stravos is now done, should be 235 moons. He's not gonna get a text box here, so very well done. And is about to just collect his last moons in Mushroom and then make it to the dark side. Probably possible to get a 147 here, at least.
Yeah, it's a very solid run from Stravos so far.
Now Mushroom, the second visit here in Mushroom as MiiWii is about to close out Bowser's, by the way, and then gonna head to Lost, which is once again gonna be scary. Mushroom definitely not too scary. All you do here is you get this moon here by selecting a banger of a track. So if you guys have the little PP hop emoji, this is time to use it. I actually love this version of the Cascade music. That's our first task, and then the second one is the moon here that popped out of the tail, this little tail moon on the tree, and then we just talk to Toadette to get the rest of the achievement moons, and then we can make it to Darkside.
Yep. Yeah, it's mostly Mushroom 2 does mostly consist of talking with Toadette.
Yeah, it's actually 12 Toadette moons. Oh, MiiWii hopefully getting those notes in time. He will, didn't fall down all the way. It's mostly just talking. There's this one light from the ceiling moon that they're gonna get before they head back. And yeah, afterwards, it's literally just a warp, and then the dark side does happen. The boss rush, especially, which is what is still scary. Stravos has this huge lead, but literally, if he was to die on mech for some reason, he could be like even with MiiWii. Like that's actually the reality of how Darkside works.
And there is an optional life apart that you can get in Darkside that loses some time, but it's a lot of security about your life. Make sure that you don't die.
I'm pretty sure Stravos is not gonna take that one. It would basically guarantee him to not take like a sloppiness death, so he might, I don't know, because Stravos always does definitely care about performing well and winning at the end of the day, but I doubt it. I think he just has those threats for the bunnies down, because they definitely do change depending on if you fight them without or with the low gravity, and the dark side fighting with low gravity changes them up. But I think he's not going to opt for that. At the same time, as we see Stravos just talking to Toadette consecutively for 12 times, we do see MiiWii in a pretty intense section. It's once again time for another Lost 2 visit.
By the way, the difference out of what was
Bowser's?
the last Bowser's is 6 minutes and 28 seconds.
Okay, wow, so Stravos definitely building up a strong lead, as strong where he might almost be able to take a death in Darkside, but we'll see. Let's see how this ends up. As Stravos is now grabbing the 15th moon, if you remember, at the end of Lost, he had 235, so they're basically globing in right now to make the globe fill up, is gonna get him to 250. And I think if he was to play on top of his A game, there is still a chance to get a 146 here, so that's another thing to cheer him on for. Yeah, so as long as he plays well here, he can get a 146 if he doesn't take any like unnecessary hits from the bunnies, which would be a very respectable and very amazing time for all of the mistakes he made, especially in the early game portion, where he like missed Dram and there was like a really big mistake. Oh, the snow drams. He missed snow dram twice.
Missed snow dram twice. That's definitely a huge one. So, yep, heading into Dark Side, where you gotta do the boss rush, as you know. It's...
Yep, and even that movement here at the start matters. I'm interested to see what he's gonna opt for. Goes for 2 rolls and then probably something like a triple jump up towards the wire. Actually, very smart. Doesn't go for the triple jump and waits a little bit, so he gets another single jump, and that looked really fun.
Yeah, I think the triple jump would give you too much air time.
Too much time. Air time.
So MiiWii also heading into this hard wall jump section.
A little bit of a safety strat. Nice. Honestly, probably also pretty hard to do, but looked like it worked just as fine.
Yep.
Oh, nice from Stravos there. Actually giving himself some extra airtime first, throwing Cappy, and then going into the ground pound animation. Like this. Gonna be missing the hit right here, barely. Oh, actually 2 HP. Now, this is something to talk about. There's no health refills until the very end, after you already beat the 4 Brutals. And 2 HP, while still being quote-unquote safe.
You could probably, I guess, get the Captain Toad Moon to refill.
No, I mean after there is one heart before the Captain Toad Moon.
Yeah, so if you really wanted all 3 hearts, you could get that.
Yeah, that would be
some time, but
true. That would be the one extra refill if you want to be super safe. But now he has to go through the rest of the bunnies with 2 health. And even though Harriet is probably the least likely to take damage on, which is about to come up, Rango and Spewart, if you make a little bit of a mistake, can actually cause you damage. Ooh, that's actually really nice notes from MiiWii on the side.
Yeah.
He like clutched that last section out, dude.
Spin throwed in the air. It really kind of made me Monka.
Yeah, he basically did like a cap dip out of a spin throw, which worked like really well.
Yeah, that was pretty good. MiiWii getting the bunny successfully, which is nice. While Stravos is fighting another bunny, except this one has bombs.
Yeah, this one has bombs, and it does have 2, just like the Bowser's version. The first time we actually don't get to see her, at least in Dark Side, since she's on the sand, the inverted pyramid.
That's interesting. MiiWii opting to get the bunny moon on the way to the timer challenge instead of getting it with the propeller pillar moon.
On the way to the line it upload up moon, but that's okay. I mean, shouldn't really make that much of a difference. At the end of the day, all these moons are just the moon cutscenes. What is important though is that he catches this one. Let's see. Oh, I hate that dive. Why do people do that? Like, it's so easy to dive over the tree, but whatever works. He is making it work here. Let's see Stravos' strats for Spewart. Looks like a second clean hit. Third one looking good as well. And definitely staying patient here. No damage in Spewart, so only Rango to go, who, if you miss a hit, gets quite aggressive, and he keeps jumping with this spiky head throughout the arena, and it's like hard to hit him. So as long as he doesn't mess up his strats, he should be fine, and he's actually going to be full health again.
I think MiiWii had a much cleaner loss 2 than Stravos or something. There's something
his
happened.
loss 2 looked really good, at least.
Yeah, because the difference is 6 minutes 11 seconds now.
Which is really weird, because MiiWii got an extra moon as well, if you keep that in mind. Like, he got the shop moon, which Stravos did not get. So definitely pretty clean loss from MiiWii. I mean, I did see him do some pretty nice strats on those notes. Oh, and Stravos actually missing Rango here, but very important to get that hit. If he didn't do that, Rango would have started to like jump around in the arena and
lost some time. So yeah, he didn't take another hit of damage the whole time. So he will be at full HP heading into the mech fight, which is pretty nice. Except the mech fight isn't like super hard, really. Like, you can do birdless, or like, I guess hammer broless, but it's just like a couple cap dives. It's not too super hard, but yeah.
Alright, so Stravos is done with the bunny portion of Rabbit's Ridge, which is this area here at the Dark Side Kingdom. Collects this heart along his way. Doing those roads is really weird because Mario tends to... Oh, what? That was mean, dude. He just showed up to Captain Toad and he left again. I think he wants to get a 146 here, which should still be barely possible, I want to say, even with the hit he took and the little mistake in Rango. We did see him get that Captain Toad for the fans before, but he might just want to get that 146 and get as many points as he can.
Yep. Ooh,
And
wow.
that
was...
For a Moon spin pound, that was ridiculous, actually.
That was crazy. That was really good.
Because on Moon, the gravity is like way lower, and still getting a hit that quick there is, yeah, impressive.
Yeah. Pretty hot strats from Stravos for mech.
See, the last two bubbles go well as well. The good thing here, at least on the dark side, is if he was to fall, it would be pretty fast to get back on. But this is looking like a clear 146 pace for me as long as he gets this hit, which he does.
Nice.
Stravos is going to be closing that one out.
That whole mech was really fast by Stravos.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful mech. And yeah, if we keep in mind that he did do these early game mistakes, we can all see Stravos get a 144 in the future, which would be the next minute barrier to break. I'm not sure if anybody's ever going to push Darkseid to the 143 realm, and which I think really is really frustrating. A 139 or like any tie towards that 120 star record is probably not going to happen, because unless we find something major like skipping the bunnies here or something, yeah, this is still a very good time.
Yeah, 146.48 coming up from Stravos. Very good time for a race, especially.
Now, let's see if MiiWii is going to be able to close this one out now with 250 moons at the end of Mushroom Kingdom, so his routing did work out. Let's see, Stravos not looking like he's going to show us the wrong warp. If I don't see the wrong warp at the end of this tournament, I'm going to be extremely disappointed.
Me too.
But yeah, what can you do? I'm not sure how hard it actually is, and once again, there is this option in one of the Darkseid subrooms to basically activate a loading zone, which the developers just left there because they reused the shards subroom from Metro. Yeah, super lazy. They reused that subroom and they left the loading zone in there that can still be accessed using Yoshi, but haven't seen that one. Yeah, but let's focus on MiiWii first, though, as he's about to hopefully finish up this run.
Yep. Opting to not get the life apart.
Yeah, gamer moves. Not opting for the life apart.
Bonking, I really don't know how that happened, but taking a bonk there.
Yeah, his roll like weirdly changed direction.
Yeah.
The one point where you really don't want to have that happen, by the way, is before those fights, because even though this is basically just fights, whenever you enter a new boss arena, there's a small section that you have to roll over until you activate the fight. And actually below this arena, there's like this insta-killing poison like in Lost. So we really don't want to have that happen. Also, not a clean second phase topper from MiiWii. Hopefully at least avoiding damage. Looks like he might be able to do that. And he does.
Nice. So, yeah. Heading into Harriet now. Which is... I think, like, the only difference, obviously, the only difference is, she has 2 bombs and there's moon gravity. Except, moon gravity doesn't really change that much in this fight.
In this fight specifically, yeah, exactly. All of the other ones, I want to say Topper and Rango changed the most in terms of what you actually do. Spewart is different, but I personally find that I can basically do the same things that I do in the other fights, just a little bit more wonky, I want to say. But yeah, Harriet is just, yeah, we do the same strats pretty much. No one is actually doing any first-person strats, which obviously runners have started doing in Bowser's Kingdom.
Maybe if first starts running Darkseid.
Well, first doing AOM, obviously, so he's definitely completing that section of the game. So maybe he has something there. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't looked. I haven't been around in his streams when he's at Darkseid because it's pretty late for me, but usually.
It's kind of interesting, though, how MiiWii is doing this fight. He was, like, crouching and then kept throwing out of the crouch instead of jumping to the side to hit the bombs.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is pretty interesting.
Right, Harriet is done. Now making his way up to Spewart.
Nice little roll cancel jump there to get up to the doorway to get to Spewart. Spewart, you can, if you get really close to him, you can just do a single jump and still hit him when he's in his, like, phase that he's in right now. but you can't do a jump ground pound as well like MiiWii's doing.
Yeah, if you're like super close to him, you can do a single jump, but it's I guess a little bit weirder to time.
Yeah.
This works.
Yep.
Actually, nice down throw there to, I think, intentionally get rid of the head, but didn't manage that. That's fine. Speed is also defeated, and only Rango to go. 3 hit points still on MiiWii, so no damage taken yet. Makes it look pretty easy.
So, presuming that he does Rango pretty easily without taking damage, he should be in full health. But even with taking 1 hit of damage, you can still be in full health with that extra.
Yeah. So, do you actually remember at all what the PB was that you checked earlier?
On like Speedrun.com, I think
it's like a 152 or something, which is probably not going to be in reach anymore.
152.25 is on Speedrun.com, but that obviously might not be actually his real PB.
Yeah, but even if it is, this run probably won't make it to beat that one. If it is, he's actually still pretty close to that one, to his personal best time. If it is, once again, can't guarantee. But right now, obviously, finishing up Rango, and then after the mech fight, he's also going to be done. Looking like a 7 to 8 minute difference, which is pretty respectable from Stravos, but at the same time, he is the world record holder after all. Everybody's going to have a hard time racing that guy in this tournament.
For sure. Looks like pretty good showing from MiiWii, and even when he's facing the world record holder.
Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised overall by his post game, especially his Lost looked really clean.
Oh yeah,
had some flaws there in the early portions, but yeah, especially his Lost 2 was clean.
That was clean.
Indeed, but let's see how clean this mech is. Not quite sure yet which bubble he wants to hit first. I think he decided mid-fight that it shall be Rango. Not gonna go for any crazy strats here on Topper, like Stravos did earlier.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll go for target acquired or he'll go for Harry at last. We'll find out in a moment.
Yeah, we're about to see. Hopefully not falling back off. Once again, the nice little tweak about this mech fight is obviously even if you do fall off, not like in Bowser's, you're not like awkwardly stuck there. The moon gravity allows you to straight up jump back up with a backflip or even ground pound jump and then some wall jumps. But he did get that third more risky bubble. Now he just needs to land on top and snipes Harriet. Very nice. He's gonna get a 153 still, even though this cutscene takes quite long. It's gonna be a high. Wait. Ooh, this is actually going to be an interesting race. Is this a 143 or not as the moon spawns? I think it should be still the movement to... Oh, actually, I don't know. This is going to be close.
I don't know either. It depends on if he...
Oh, I don't think it is. That moon takes like time.
Oh, yeah, that
dude, that cutscene is so long, unfortunate. It's going to be very low. Oh, 154.01. As MiiWii closes this one out. And GG's.
Yep.
To both runners.
Big GG's to both runners. Great showing from each of them.
Stravos obviously already on the trigger to join the interview, and as always, at least in my tradition, I'm starting with the winner, which is Stravos GG 146.48 with a, in my opinion, pretty solid post game, other than like some birch shenanigans. But yeah, how did it feel?
Yeah, obviously the 2 Snowdram mess-ups were pretty bad.
In early game, true.
Without those, that'd be really close to a 145 in a race, you know?
Yep, definitely. I'm not sure how much you suspect that bird shenanigan ended up losing you. I don't think too much. It was actually pretty clever, something that I didn't know that if you just like get the Paragroomba, he's gonna obviously encounter you there at the backside, but probably still maybe losing like 10 or something. But yeah, as you said, that's pretty close.
Probably like 15 seconds.
Maybe around that, yeah.
So it's about it. It's basically like failing the trick and dying. It's a pretty bad mistake.
Well, I think that 15 seconds is better than having to get 2 extra moons.
Definitely good decision making on that end.
Yeah, my mech split and Moon. Mech and Moon were both really good, actually. So those were probably huge golds for me. I gotta retime those because I'm not using my regular splits.
Nice.
Yeah, also the actual dark side mech was pretty clean. I want to say, like that spin. I don't even know that spin pot on Topper was like just way too fast for Moon.
Yeah, I mean that's just my regular strat. It's really consistent. It's basically the any percent stuff.
Yeah, I know. I meant like just the technical execution of that spin pot for being on Moon was like a really fast one too.
Yeah, and then my strat for dropping onto the third bubble, like I hang on the side when normally people try to hit the bubble there, but it's really inconsistent to do that. So instead, I purposely just hang on the side, and then once it spins around, I fall. Because even if you wait until spinning around, that's also inconsistent. So by hanging off the edge, you're lower and closer. It makes it so much easier. You waste like 2 seconds over the optimal way. It's super worth it, especially for a race setter.
Now, the one question is, who's gonna stop you from winning this tournament?
I mean, the any percent guys, you know, they can definitely do it.
So I'm guessing you're suspecting like Curbs, Chaos could definitely give you like a run for the money.
Yeah, and you know, Equan, Mitch, if they get through, you know.
Yep, true,
Equan,
definitely.
He did lose his race, but I don't think he's like out yet or anything.
He is gonna race Mitch in the next one, which is gonna be very, very interesting, definitely.
Yeah, that's a really good matchup.
Yeah. He might need to get a good win against him or something. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is for if Equan's gonna make it through. I don't know what he has to do.
Yeah,
but he definitely has to win this one. I know
absolutely.
that.
We'll read up on that one. I know Zylo definitely didn't get the most amount of points versus Mitch because Mitch got like a pretty good run and he had like some connection issues at the very end. But yeah, it will be interesting. It will be interesting to see how the obviously KO phase is going to proceed because we're getting close to the end of group stage. But MiiWii, let me get to you because I think even though you didn't PB or anything, we still had some pretty hot moments in the post game. Was that like a lost 2 gold or something? Because that, for example,
that was a. I'm pretty sure yes, it was lost 2 gold by a lot. I don't have. I'm using the default live split layout, so it didn't show me by how much. But it looks like it's a big gold because I saved like almost 40 seconds to my PB there.
Yeah.
Mostly because I had to grab an extra moon because I lost one. I missed one in Cascade. But my post game was probably the only good part about this run because I haven't. If I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really been playing this game that much recently. Just doing other stuff, other games.
Nope,
so
I mean, I can see it.
I've been really messing up stuff. I messed up stuff a lot in everything but post game, pretty much a lot of this run. Like film nut clip. Yeah. Also, the plug for my console is like right next to my foot, so like.
Oh, the metro thing. Yeah, don't worry about that one.
It's splice.
Okay.
Yeah. Why would I splice such a bad run? No.
I mean, we obviously have the cheat verification anyways, and we did saw that date. I think you still showed off some good stuff. Once again, I said this in the race. For example, I really liked the node strat. I'm not sure if that's something you intentionally did, but you did like a spin throw into a dive over the gap, and it got like all of the nodes. I'm not sure if that was like luck or an actual good strat because it was actually really sick.
Wait, which kingdom?
Like lost nodes.
Lots.
Like there's like this gap between the propeller and the next thing, and you basically let yourself fall, but then you spin throw dove, and it got like all of the nodes. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even notice this was probably an accident, but I guess it's cool.
Happy accidents. Happy accidents. All right, guys. That's going to be it from us here from this Dark Side tournament race. Stravos taking another win. Bracket is coming to an end here as far as the group stage is concerned, but there's more races to be had. Tomorrow we'll see Tidotech versus MiiWii at around the same time, and then on Friday we have Econ versus Mitch. So stay tuned. Keep it up, guys. Thank you for watching. Follow everybody here on Twitch, obviously, Twitter, and follow Global Speedrun Association for more racing speedrunning content. See you guys around.
See ya.